Hey everybody, it's Friday. We've made it to day 3. Um, I'm just gonna quickly make sure that this is showing up as you guys kind of like jump on. Let's see. Today is going to be epic. You thought the other 2 days were good? Wait till you see what's in store for you today. We're talking about those 4 different personality types that you need to be writing for because that's the way that you're going to actually attract more people. For some reason, I'm having a hard time finding. Here we go. If you are joining me, let me know where you are watching from. Just pop in and say hi. Oh, I kind of have rearranged my little board here. My desktop. Let me know where you're watching from. We're gonna have fun today. This is I'm looking to make sure that it's still in the group. Here we go. There I am. Let me just make sure the volume's all the way down. Okay. Let's see. Sandy is watching. Okay. The funny thing is, and Sylvie. Funny thing is, okay, so people, this is just weird. So I'm gonna make sure that I also keep this open on my iPad because not all the comments are showing up here on my desktop. And hello, Talene. Hello, Terry. I see also that Sylvie and Sandy are also here just because I'm over here looking. So remind me. Oh, now there they are. I can still see you. Yeah, Sylvie, I don't see you quite yet. Just add another comment for me, please. Today's gonna be so much fun. So much fun. Okay. Just to kind of recap what we have been doing, like day 1, we talked about, wait a minute, I just have to add this up here. Don't hate me because I didn't finish my homework. It's okay. It's okay. You still have time. You still have time. I will give you a pass today. But that's a good question. Hey, who did the homework from day 2? Who did the homework from day 2? If you're watching the replay, let me know down below. Like if you did the homework, I did see a few people. I did see a few people's homework, and I love it. You guys are really diving in deep on this. This is one, like when I offer free trainings, I want it always to be, hey, you walk away with a gold nugget. As a matter of fact, like even when I speak, any sort of event that I've ever spoken at, that has been one of my big things. And when I say big things, because I want an audience, whether it's live, whether it's virtual, very virtual these days, I want my audience always to walk away and have like, here's something I can do right now. Absolutely right now I can do this. Not I have to put things in motion. I have to go buy some software. I have to, do all this other stuff. No, I am all about, hey, here's what you can do right now so that you start. Because when you start taking action, you start to deepen the learning. And so you guys doing the homework. Sandy wants a pass too. Sandy, you have a pass. Who else needs a pass? You guys are great. You guys are funny. Happy to offer passes for all of you. Because you can as long as you do the homework, that's what I wanted to say. So day 1, we talked about the different pillars that you speak about, including adding your thought leadership in there as one of your pillars. So what are you seeing in the industry? What are your predictions? What are your opinions? And your opinions don't have to be what everybody else is saying. So here's one of my thought leaderships. I don't think there's actually a study out there that says that 95% of the people are afraid of public speaking. I think it's completely made up. I've actually heard 2 people say that it was something that Jerry Seinfeld said. So I go out on a limb and say, I don't think that's true. because what I think is happening is that people are borrowing that study that confirms why I'm not good at public speaking, so I'll never try. So then we take on that like jacket, that coat that says, I'm afraid of public speaking, so I'm not going to do it. And I've got there's 95% of the population's with me. So here's another one of my predictions. Because of our cell phones, people taking selfies, people FaceTiming, I think that we are going to be raising a generation of people who are not afraid to be on camera. So here's a note on that, you guys, especially, if you've got that generation, that's teenagers, 20s, don't let them beat you. No. Stay ahead of the curve, okay? So enough with that. So day one, we talked about the pillars, including your thought leadership. What are your pillars that you speak about? Yesterday, we dove even deeper into the subcategories that are in there so that you now have, if you did 5 pillars, 5 categories, and if that you speak on, write on, that you're going to do content on, even if you just did 3 subcategories, that's 15 weeks of content right there. You already know for 15 weeks I'm writing, because you can just map it out. So there we go. So make sure you do your homework. So Terry says me too. So I take Terry, do you need a pass too? Is that what that was for? You guys are great. Okay, so today, let's start off with, we're going to talk about the 4 different personalities that you need to be writing for. And we're also going to be talking about the anatomy of a really good post. And when I say post, this also can be used for a video, some sort of a live stream. So there are 3 parts. Do you guys have pen and paper? Make sure you got pen and paper. You're going to need some pen and paper for this one. And let me just peek over here. Chrissy has joined us. Hey, Chrissy. Let's see. Sylvie did her homework. I want, Sylvie, yours does show up over here on my iPad, but it's not showing up on my eCam software. I wonder if there's... copy the link, add this to, here, I'm adding this to the discussion. Hi, Nicole, glad you're here. Let's see, hopefully that came up. Of course, I don't see it. All right, Talina's pen and paper. I was trying to type in there, eCam Live will only receive the names and group members who have you have to grant permission to eCam so that you actually show up here. That's what it is. But anyways, I've got you guys over here, so if you've got any questions, Sylvie has a purple pen. Purple, I know, is your favorite color. Okay, so let's get started. Anatomy of a really good post, or some sort of a video, or even an Instagram story, video, or even a presentation. Okay, just to dabble that in. 3 parts. The first part is the hook. Think of a newspaper, the headline, something that draws you in. You've got to catch people's attention, especially right now. I mean, the online world is extremely busy, and you've got to draw people in. You've got to give them a reason to read your post. So that's going to be your hook. Then there's going to be the body of your text, the body of your post, and the third part is the call to action. So in order to make your posts addicting, there has to be I want you to what's your voice? What is it that you want people to really get to know about you, really understand? Maybe, and also just taking a stand on things, literally drawing a line in the sand. I want you to stand out from from like everybody else. Now, Facebook is making it a little bit easier with formatting. And so you can have the H1, which is great because it's big. You can make things in bold so that like in your text, like here's what you want to draw people's eyes to. That helps in making content addicting. It's got to be like what I call eye candy. It has got to be aesthetically pleasing. People are skimmers before they're readers. They are skimming the post first to see, is this worthy of me spending time here? And that is just how fast like our brains work. Your subconscious mind is filtering information all the time. So we need to make stuff like we want it to be like, hey, like to make people like both the images, to make people stop that scroll and like pay attention to you. Read your stuff. It's not just a picture of you. Although, like especially like in Facebook or in Instagram, it's all about images. And I think more so in Facebook, it's about like, like, hey, if I'm doing the scroll, if I see a picture of you, I'm going to read that top line if I like your stuff. Does that make sense? Let me know if you guys, if you're like, oh yeah, like aha moments. Have you been making your posts aesthetically pleasing? Aesthetically pleasing being, like there are breaks, there's short sentences. It's not these big, long, giant paragraphs. A while ago before people were using Facebook, for business, it would just be like, like these long, long paragraphs, and like somebody might be talking about their day or, a story, and it was just one big, long paragraph. Let me just peek over here. Talene says she has pen and paper. Linda has joined. She's ready. She missed 1 and 2, but wants to still do today. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're here, Linda. You can always go watch 1 and 2 after and do the homework. But I'm really glad that all of you guys are here. So let me know in the comments, does this make sense about the hook, the body, the call to action, and about making your posts aesthetically pleasing? Like I like to call it eye candy. I'm always like very big with my team members, and all right, I have to like go over here and watch because some of these aren't showing up. So he says, I try to keep my Facebook posts short. The hook is the most difficult part. Think of headlines. Think of headlines. So one of the ways that that I sort of play around with headlines, or like those main, think of like the very first sentence. What draws people in? Sometimes asking a question, a startling statistic. Something that like, hey, here's what you're not doing. Think of like some of the emails that come in to your inbox. What are the ones that you open up? And I'm not talking about the ones that like are coming from your friends and family. I'm talking about the stuff that's like newsletters that you've signed up for. Pay attention to those subject lines, especially the ones that make you open stuff. If you are scrolling on, I was going to pull out my phone, like Apple News. I get emails from like Fast Company, even some LinkedIn stuff, where they've got titles in there. Like what titles, like just like, are you compelled to? Which ones are you drawn to? Take notes. Put those down somewhere. Make a new like document that's or a note on your phone, and just like dictate those titles in there so that you'll have that when you go to write content. And I also like like those top lines, they are so important and they really do need your attention. So there's some studies out there that if you have a really good hook, those first few lines, people will read the rest. even if, and this is what the science says, even if it's crappy, but they will keep reading. But if the beginning is watered down, isn't compelling, but the rest of your post is like amazing, it's not going to get read. The stats are really low that it will get read. And I don't remember the numbers exactly, but spend the time on that first line, that first sentence or two. And also pay attention to, like when you're scrolling on Facebook, we'll just take Facebook for example, on a tablet, on your phone, notice what you can see before it says, like you have to click here to hit to see more. Notice what that is, okay? So that's important. And on Instagram, it's even shorter. So, I mean, like that first line that, like you barely can see at, depending on how long your sentence is, it's just a little bit shorter. So keep that in mind when you are posting. I never write headlines. So Nicole says, I never write headlines. So I know what to do now. Okay, good. Start writing them. So funny what's coming up on here. So, and in your body, like your body, like, I mean, we could like talk about your body, like for days. And it depends on if it's a value post, if it's a promo post, but the body, that's where your body is. And then you always got to have a call to action. Always have a call to action. Whether it's to sign up for your program or book a call with you or to learn more, go to this website. But you also, what's really important is that just for the algorithm, you want to encourage some sort of a conversation. So having a question like, hey, tell me about, and if you've ever noticed like some of mine, I'll have like a call, like, hey, book a call with me. But I'll also ask people, how many new clients would you like to sign on this month? How many virtual speaking events would you like? What's a new business package that you want to offer people? Who do you work with? Who are your ideal clients? Let's share below so we can refer each other. All of those are different calls to action. So I'm hoping that that's all making sense. So why don't you guys, so this is like where we're having that conversation and I'm just engaging you guys in the training. Share with me a call to action. Share with me a call to action that would help your business. The call to action, like to book a call, to sign up for a PDF. Let's see. Sylvie says a call to action even on a personal post. So your personal post being on your personal page. It depends. So if you are using Facebook for business reasons, you should be on your business page or in a group that you have. On your business page, you could share that over to your personal page. But on your personal page, I would definitely, for the algorithm, have questions. Like it could just be like, so it could just be interesting questions like, hey, like what's your favorite book that you read? Do you remember like, what was your favorite class like in school? Like you see a lot of these, what's your favorite fruit? What's the one, here's a common question, and I'm not encouraging you to use this question, but what's the one thing that you're going to do when this is all said and done? But it could be something like, hey, like what's your favorite restaurant? Depending on what your post is. Like I've written posts about dining experiences, and then I'll ask people, what's your favorite restaurant? What's a place that stands out in their service? So the reason why I'm still encouraging on my personal page calls to action is that, again, Facebook looks at it like, hey, Laurie-Ann's posting on her personal page, so she's using this for personal social reasons. But we also notice that Laurie-Ann's over here using it for business. Laurie-Ann's using Facebook and people are engaging with her on her personal page, which tells Facebook people like Laurie-Ann stuff. People like to hear from her, and then Facebook shows my post more often to people. So that's part of the algorithm, getting people to like it, getting people to heart it, but more importantly, writing comments. You know, there was all that thing about them taking away the likes. So Sylvie says, I mentioned having a personal post even on my business page. No, let me just clarify that. You can have a post that's on your business page that's business-like. You can take that business post and bring it, like share it to your personal page. This does a couple of things. It lets people that are your personal friends also know, like, oh, that's what she does. Oh, I forgot that that's what she was doing. For example, I'll tell you about a story that this happened with me. Something that was on my business page, I shared it to my personal page, and now people, because you have to like my business page, which if you haven't liked my business page, you need to go over and do that. If you only the people that have liked my business page are going to see the posts that are over there. So I bring it over to my personal page, and somebody from my high school class, my high school graduating class, commented on one of my business posts that I had shared and said, oh, I didn't know that this is what you do. You do what she goes, my dad is in a similar field. Her dad happens to be a motivational speaker. And so now we had this conversation, and I got to know that her father does speaking, and he does motivation. And I think he was in a particular industry. I think he was in real estate, if I remember correctly. And Sylvie says that she does do that for book sales. Awesome. Okay. So that is part of how to make your posts addicting. So now we're going to talk about, and this training is going to be a little bit longer because I got a lot of stuff that I got to share. Now we're going to talk about the 4 personality profiles. And these are the 4 personalities that you want to be writing for. So I'm going to give you the high level view of this. Okay, I'm going to give you the cliff notes. But won't you guys, while I take a sip of coffee, why don't you guys tell me, how's this going so far? What is your biggest win so far? Or what's like an aha moment? If you've ever been coaching with me, you know that I always ask, what's a gold nugget that you're walking away with? So what's a gold nugget that you have? Some gold nugget that you have. Share that with me. I'm just kind of like peeking around at all the hearts and who is here with us today. I'm so excited for you guys. This is like what I'm about to share with you, the 4 personality quadrant system. This is going to change the way that you write. And just to let you know, you're one of these. You're one of these also. Let's see. Sylvie says like one of her big takeaways is the pillars and the subcategories. What else you guys got? I have one person commenting. Come on, you guys. Let's see. Talene says that having pillars and subcategories helps to create your content without feeling like you're drowning. Oh, that's really good. Linda says asking questions and making your comments. And Nicole says pillars, subcategories, headlines. Wonderful. Okay, let's go into the 4-quadrant personality profile. How many of you have heard of DISC? D-I-S-C. It's owned by Wiley. The last time I looked. However, there have been many different interpretations of this. DISC being the doers, I's being interpersonal, the S being steady, and C conscientious. And there are lots of different names for each of these categories. We all fall into one of these categories, and I would definitely tell you to go online and do a free search for do a free search. All searches are free, silly. Look for a free DISC, D-I-S-C, test so that you can see where you fall into this. Although as we go through this, you're probably going to be able to pick it out. Now, from this, it doesn't mean that this is the only category that you're in. I believe that depending on the situation that we are placed in, we do float from quadrant to quadrant, if you will. But there are certain, you have a dominant one. And your readers, your followers, your audience, they also have a dominant personality. So let's start with the first one. And I'm just going to call them a go-getter. These are your, in the DISC model, these are your Ds. These are, think of your CEOs, okay? They are go-getters. They get stuff done, but they also like things in bullets. These are going to be the people who like love the fact that you have a bullet in there because they are definitely your skimmers. They are going to skim this and they want to know what's in it for me. How can I use this information now, today? They're not your big planners. They like to do things instantaneously. Like, this sounds like a great idea. Boom. They like to make decisions quick also. Just make that as like your go-getter. Just write go-getter, and those are the characteristics of them. And they, like, their big question is the what. What do I do with this information? What? Just think of the what. Let's move on to another one. And we're just going to label this one promoter. Somebody just kind of like type in there. So I'm just, let's see. The first one is your go-getters. Your go-getters. Next one, promoter. Now, if I make any spelling mistakes, you have to forgive me. I think I got it right. Your promoters. Now we're going to talk about your promoters. These are, think of your center of attention. These are the life of the party type people. These are people who love, like, oh yeah, groups of people. They think of what's the fun in this? These people are all about fun and friendship, building bonds. Like, this is really, really important to them. Every time I talk about this particular personality, I have a really good friend who's a speaker, and he is such this promoter. So your promoter, the big question that they're asking is who? Who is going to be involved in this? These people love stories. So this is when you write stories that are a little bit longer. This is what's going to attract these people. They love a good story. They love stuff like about group activity. How can I be a part of this group? So think of it that way. Is that making sense? Let me just check over here. Let me know if that's making sense. So we just went over the go-getter, and we just went over the promoter. So remember bullets and then stories. Let me know if this is like, if I'm going too fast or if this is a little too overwhelming, because there's a lot to this. And this is one of those situations, like, once you like realize what you are, like, light bulbs go off, because each of these personality types is a certain way that they talk. And yes, you can figure out from Facebook and LinkedIn what somebody's personality is based on how they're dressed. And whenever I used to teach this at understanding DISC as a communication class for a corporate, light bulbs would go off. So Nicole says, I need to write stories. Actually, Nicole, what you want to do is you need to do all 4 of these, because you want the promoters, you want the people that really like the stories, but you also need the go-getters. And since I know that you're in direct sales, you also want people who are going to basically build great teams. And that's going to be part of your go-getters. Your promoters, these are going to be the people who they just like to have a good time. And let's have a party. And they love the stories. So let's move on. Promoters came to mind immediately. 2 promoters came to mind. All right, so Linda saying that she's got 2 promoters just came to mind, and so you want to be able to write to attract them. Let me just read what Talene says here. So you're breaking down DISC into social media types for reading your content. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Okay, so the next one is your examiner. Your examiner, they would be your CFOs, your accountants, your bankers, your people who do your tax prep, scientists. So numbers are going to attract these people, and that's what's going to stop the scroll for them. If you have a stat, if you have a percentage, did you notice like earlier when I was talking about, hey, if you have a crappy headline, people don't finish reading, and it's only like 30, it's something like 30% of people that see your post are going to actually continue to read it. But if you have a really good headline, it's something like 75% of the people will actually continue reading, even if the rest of the post is crappy. So if I put up top like how to increase your conversions from 30 to 70%, that's going to attract the examiner. And in my Facebook group, I asked people like, what makes you stop to read a post? And one woman, and I was a little surprised that she said this because I didn't peg her for an examiner, but she said a number or a stat in the headline will make her stop and read. I didn't think that she was an examiner, but having some sort of scientific information. Excuse me, I just had a weird hair. So numbers are going to attract these people. So statistics, 9 out of 10 dentists recommend flossing. Do XYZ and increase, your confidence by like 25%, increase your conversions by, so numbers is going to help with the examiner. So they're always thinking of, their big question is the why. Why am I doing this? Why? Think of why. Your post needs to answer the why when you're talking to them. Now keep in mind, just in case I haven't made this clear, that you could take one of your posts that you end up writing, like, hey, we're talking about category 1, subcategory 2. You write a post, and then you rewrite it for each of these personality types. And that's how you're going to have addicting content that, oh my goodness, I have to know what Sylvie is saying today, what Nicole is saying, just to have people turn to their social media because they got to read what you are going to say. So the last one is your nurturer. And these are, think of your admins, executive, support, party planners, wedding planners, meeting organizers. This is these people. And they are how are we going to get this done? How can I help? How can we do this? So they are support people. Does that make sense? Let me just check over here. So I wrote go-getters, promoters. If somebody can just type in examiner and nurturer. The examiner is the why. The nurturer is the how. How are we going to do this? So you think of when you give a tip, and this is how you can use this in your business. The examiner, you give a tip. This is why you use this in your business. The promoter, this is who this can also benefit from, who you can attract, and then the go-getter, the what. This is what's in it, what it will do for you. Do you see how like those 4 different questions all can change the way you write a post? Let me just give you guys like a moment. Thank you, Sylvie, for typing that in for me. So can you kind of see like how this information about these 4 different personality profiles, these 4 different places, that different ways to write essentially the same post, but it's going to attract different people. It's going to speak to different people. Sylvie says, I think you are definitely a nurturer. Yes. Now remember, you're not writing just for you. You are also writing for that audience, those people who are reading. Let's see. Doer, what? Promoters, who? Examiner, why? Nurturer, how? Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you. Let me just stop here for a moment. What questions do you have? Because I could like dive even deeper into this. I could do a whole training on DISC because it's like, and it is just absolutely fascinating. It is so fascinating that that you just end up having, it ends up being a really funny workshop. So your go-getters are also very blunt and to the point. Your promoters love to talk. Love to talk. Your examiner and your nurturers, these people are a little bit quieter. Energy is kind of very consistent, but these are quieter people versus your go-getters and your promoters are a little bit more out there, more energetic, if you will. And some people are based on, as you can see, like some people are based on numbers and like what's in it for me, how do I use this information, and other people are like, hey, like groups of people, like my friends, how can I be a part of the solution? How can I help out? So I need to define each day for which type to write. So Nicole, so I need to define each day for which type to write for. So if you're going to put a post out a day, then yeah, I would one day I'd be writing for the go-getters. Another day I'd be writing a post for promoters. I should say putting out posts. You know, if you are going to write every day, that's one way to do it. Or another way to do it is just to sit down one day and just write for like an hour and a half. Remember, writing content is a money-making activity. And learning how to get people to really read your stuff is also like, there's a science behind this. I have been playing around with this for a long time now. And I am just like, you'll start to notice like, wow, people are liking my stuff. People are commenting on my stuff. You know, like you start to just like almost dissect what stuff is working. Now, keep in mind, if you're on Facebook, you know, what's working in one group may not work in another group. So you almost have to be like your own detective about what works where. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. I can see some overlap between examiner and nurturer. Yes, they are definitely quiet people. But remember, the examiner is about, give me some facts. Think of the scientist. Think of your CPA. They're definitely quieter people, enjoy being by themselves. And they are the examiners, why are we going to do this? Why would I sign up for this? And your nurturer is more of they're a support person. So it's how are we going to get this done? How can I help? Hope that makes sense. So how are you guys liking this? Let me just check back over here. Sylvie wrote, thank you, Sylvie, because I don't see it up on here. Doers, bullets, promoters, stories, examiners, numbers, and nurturer tips. So let me just like about the nurturer. The nurturer is just like, how can they use this information? How this can support their business, how this can support their life. So if you were to write a tip, a post, that's a tip. So here's like for myself, like a content writing tip for the different personality profiles. You know, one's going to be like, I'm going to talk about what's this going to do for you, who this is going to like, and telling the story for the examiner, the why this is important and how to use this information. So those would be 4 different social media posts for 4 different personalities. And Terry says she loves disc. Disc is fascinating, and it's so darn interesting. And Nicole says she loves this. Nicole says she's an examiner. Wonderful. Do I have any D's in the disc? The doers, the go-getters. Do I have any go-getters in the house? I'm one of them. When people learn that about me, they're actually really, really surprised. But I definitely hang out more in the go-getter, and it's my promoter part of me is what gets me up on stage. But I also like, it's so true. Like if you talk to me, I'm like very like to the point. The mastermind that I'm in, I think some of you know that I'm in a high level mastermind. And in my high level mastermind, some of the feedback that I get from my fellow mastermind ladies is that they were like, what takes me 10 minutes to say, you say in a minute. And it's so true. I know how to, I bottom line things and can get right to the point. Hence the reason why I can give so much information into a training. Hope that helps. That's just a little bit about me. But this is, I can go even deeper into this, and there is, you literally can tell from somebody's branding photos, from the photos that people use for, you know, like on Facebook or on LinkedIn, you can tell what somebody is, what their main personality is, the quadrant that they hang around in the most. So how are you guys doing? Give me some thumbs up, some hearts. Just let me know. Like, yeah, we're still with you, Laurie-Ann. Is your mind like swimming? Is this too much information? Do I need to break it down even more? Let me know what questions you have, or if everything's like, nope, I got it, because I got something else for you. Being an Sylvie says, being an introvert makes all this social stuff difficult. Yes, Talene, you are definitely a promoter with a fight between the go-getter and nurturer. Yeah, you're definitely a promoter, and I can tell just by the way that you dress. I'm definitely a go-getter because monochromatic. When I do these trainings, when I used to do these trainings in corporate, no one personality is better than another. It's just understanding that, you know, like you want a balanced team. But I joke with them and I say, you know, if you meet with me next year, I'll be wearing the same monochromatic outfit. I'll have the same hairstyle. I'll have the same earrings on. Like, I buy earrings because I hope that I'll wear them. But guess what? I end up wearing my diamond studs all the time. I'm not in right now for whatever reason. But I buy other jewelry because I actually want to wear other jewelry, but it's just not in my personality. So now it's like I've embraced that about me, and I'll go and look at jewelry and I'll be like, oh, like especially from my favorite store that's in downtown Nashua. And I'll look at it and just be like, oh, like I want to wear that and I want to get that. And I'm just like, but I'll never wear it. And they're always amazed. They're just like, really, you won't wear this? I'm like, no, I'll just wear my diamond studs. Very monochromatic. I'm a doer. I'm a D in the DISC model. So let's see. Linda's saying this is all fascinating. Terry says she's a nurturer. Yes, you are a nurturer. And I don't know who this one is. Is that you, Talene, who says, yeah, you're killing me? Yeah, yeah, it doesn't show up. Sorry. You know, and yeah, Talene knows this about me. I'm so monochromatic. All right, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Would you like to take this a step further? Give me some comments. Let me know if like, yeah, I want to learn how to take this a step further. Because I have put something together for you. Hi, I'm the same. I love my same style. Maybe I'm a hidden doer. You could be. Talene says yes. Nicole, have you ever taken the disc profile study? Because looking, I don't know a whole lot about you. But what little I do know about you, I would guess that you were either the doer, the go-getter, or a promoter. But based on some of the messages that I've seen from you, I'm thinking that you are a go-getter. But okay, yes. You guys, this doesn't have to end. This does not have to end. And I've got something that I'm calling it a boot camp. It's called Momentum Boot Camp. And it's just going to be a small, intimate program. And when I say small and intimate, like this is not going to be one of those big, giant group programs. Wait a minute, I just had to like read this. Like, no, the 4-personality color test. Yeah, that's probably the same thing. I also tend to wear the same colors jewelry, but definitely not a go-getter. Sylvie, yeah. Sylvie, like I would definitely say that you're a nurturer. Okay. Anyways, so back to what I've put together this boot camping for becoming in demand. And I think that this is a perfect time to be doing this. It's going to be a small, intimate program, about 6 weeks. I'm going to drop the link right here. Oh, wait a minute. It's not going to let me. Let me see. Talene, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send this to you for you to post in the group, please. Just because I have you right up here. Would you post this link that I just texted you into the group? This is going to be a group program. It's going to help you take this to the next level. We are going to come out of this global crisis sooner than later. And what I want for you guys is for you to be ahead of the curve. To actually, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to make money. And here's how you're going to do it. So, and Talene's going to put this down in the post, I hope, as long as she gets the text message. But I'll make sure that I drop this link as well. And if it speaks to you, I want you to sign up for a call to see if that you're a perfect fit for this. It's going to be a small group program. If you've ever worked with me before, this is going to be a fraction of the costs, for one. And it's not going to be one of those group programs where you get lost. This is going to be the group program that feels like you have one-on-one coaching. So we are going to be talking about mindset, about building a solid foundation. We're going to be talking about your packages, your offerings, and social media. Yes, because social media is a free form of marketing. We're going to talk about position marketing also. That's going to be in week 4. Week 5, we're going to jump right into sales and selling. I am going to have you guys fall in love with sales. If you have been like, I'm not good at sales, I don't want to do sales, then you are going to love this because week 5, I'm going to make you fall in love with sales. And week 6 is we are going to talk about your sales calls so that you hear more yeses and can overcome objections with ease and grace and confidence. And let me just tell you about some of the bonuses. Let's see, some of the bonuses are: one, you are going to receive emails Monday through Friday with journal prompts. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to deepen the learning each week. I want you to constantly be working. It's not just going to be a video training. It's not just going to be, well, actually, I shouldn't say a video training. It's going to be a live training, and you'll have access to the videos so that you can watch them later if you're not available at that time. But the emails every single day, Monday through Friday, is to deepen the learning. Because everybody always asks me, like, Laurie-Ann, like, what's a good journal prompt? And if you've ever been on some of my trainings, or if you've been one of my personal clients, then you know that I'll give you stuff to journal on. Also, there's going to be a private Facebook group. We are going to have Q&A hot seat coaching calls. And for those who sign up right away, which I'll explain what that means, I'm going to do a presentation workshop. I want you to learn how to put together a presentation, whether it's for a live event, because we will be going back to live events, or a virtual event really fast. And I want you to be able to learn how to craft a presentation that gets you booked and rebooked. And most importantly, converts your audience members into paying customers and clients. And that's all. If you go to the link that Talene put that in, she put that in the post. If that speaks to you, book a call with me. Let's see if because I am going to be super picky about the people who are joining this program. I'm not just saying yes to everybody. This is not one of those group programs. It's only going to be for the right people in this group. So let me see if you guys have any questions. I am 5 weeks into business. So Nicole says, so this would be great. So Nicole, definitely book a call with me and let's have a conversation about this. So the bonus for the presentation workshop is for anybody who books a call. And the call doesn't have to happen today. You just have to book a call by Sunday night. And I usually say Sunday night at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As long as you've booked your call, because, you can't get on my calendar today anyways. I don't have any openings over the weekend. So as long as you book your call, you will qualify for the bonus, which I'm calling it a fast action bonus for the presentation workshop. But take a peek at the document that I put in Google Drive, which is the link that Talene put down there, so that you can see, I want you to, if it speaks to you, then just book a call and let's have a conversation about it. Can people click on the link Talene's saying if people can click on the link that she put in there. Nicole says she's 5 weeks into business. This would be great. Can people click on the link? And you can click in the link. You'll see it's the book a call is at the end of the document. It's in red, and that is a clickable link, and it better be a clickable link. But in case you're just like, oh, Laurie-Ann, I don't want to, just show me. Where is my? Oh, I'm not seeing it. I was looking for something. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions, but the best way, this is we've been just going through this weird crisis, and I'm hearing a lot of people they're starting businesses, their businesses has been flatlining. They've just been feeling like, oh shit, now what do I do? But this is a beautiful, beautiful time to be revving up, to be prepping. Terry says that, yes, the link works. Thank you, Terry, for checking that out. And this is for people who are look, I want to build my business. My business is of service to people. I want to impact more people. I want to help more people. And you're just like, where are my ideal clients? I don't know how to even navigate on social media. How do I make, we're going to dive deeper into, and you're going to have my eyes on your social media. So let's make it addicting. And when you're in a group setting, if you've ever done a group program before, you get to learn from other people. And that's the beauty of having a group program. So there's going to be teaching. You're going to have time to do things. You're also going to have access to me, and we're going to have live Q&A calls. Like I call them hot seat coaching, if you will. So, and you're probably wondering, what's the investment, Laurie-Ann? Now, to work with me is not for everybody, but I will tell you that this is going to be, I like to call it checkbook friendly. And it is not 4 figures, it is 3 figures. The only reason why I'm not going to be like sharing what the price is right here is because it's only for the right people. So I don't want the wrong people in this group. So know that when you sign up for the call, and if you say yes to this, that this is, you're going to be in the right group of people. And you'll have lifetime access to all the information. So with that, I want to know if there are any questions. And let's see, Jessica has joined us. Hey, Jessica, nice to see you. Let's see. And so again, I'll just like hang out here for a second. Let me know what questions that you do have, but go and book a call. Let's have a conversation, and let's get your business up and running. I don't know why I've been singing a lot lately. Like my little word. I think it's got a lot to do with being at home, and it has been really rainy here in New England. So, oh well, I'll get through it. But Jessica, how are you doing today? Hope everything is going well. Let me check the comments because I know they don't all work. They're not all coming up on my screen is what I mean. Okay, great. Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of like day 1, day 2, day 3's training. I'm here to help you guys. I want your content to be addicting. I want people to be signing up for your programs, your offerings. And that's why I'm offering this boot camp, which is going to be just a small group program. We're going to get you from point A to point B, and we're going to have a lot of fun while we do it. Celine says, so great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, so I'm not seeing any questions. I know that there's a delay. That's the only problem with like the Facebook delay is, and this is one of the things that I tell my private clients, you have to ask a question, and then, you just kind of have to wait for the delay to like end so that you guys end up hearing it. You are welcome, Terry. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay, you guys, since I don't see any questions, you can always send me a message. And Nicole says, when is the boot camp? It is going to be starting in a couple of weeks. That's an excellent question. And we'll talk more about that on the call, Nicole, when you book a call. So Jessica says, thank you. You are welcome. You guys have a great day. Feel free to reach out and ask me any questions. If you didn't feel comfortable putting them in the comments here, you can DM me or email me if you have my email address. And I will talk to you guys later. Can't wait to see your content.